Hello and welcome to the Leckiju Lounge. This is your host Lex, and as my brother would always say, let's talk Capella. So yay, congratulations to me finally starting this. I honestly couldn't tell you how long I've wanted to have a podcast or start one. I just know from very young age, I always really loved interviews. I remember there was a time where I was always just watching interviews on YouTube, with celebrities, and I've always been very into celebrity culture in general. But I always wanted to be on both sides of the interview. So I wanted to be the person interviewing, but I also wanted to be the celebrity being interviewed. So kind of my whole life, I feel like I have interviewed myself just for fun, when I'm literally getting ready or doing something. I'm talking to myself, asking myself questions about the most random thing. It could be my favorite movies, it could be even related to pop culture, who are your favorite celebrities. Literally any question. I've always interviewed myself constantly, so it feels like podcast worthy, or podcast mentality of also, if I would love to have guests and I would love to talk to people, I'd love to interview people. So yeah, and for the episodes that I'm just by myself, I can interview myself and answer questions. So I would also love to answer people's questions. So just to start off and give a base of what this podcast will be about, I'm going to talk about things dance related, because I have danced for 12 years now, maybe 13. So a long time, professionally as well. So I definitely want to talk about dance. There's a lot to uncover there, a lot to unpack about the past, and also just about the industry in general that people maybe don't know. Mostly ballet, that is what I've done. So I think that tends to be the more toxic version of ballet, or of dance, but all dance can be taken to a toxic level. Then also, I would love to talk about K-pop. That kind of segues from dance and choreography. But because I love K-pop for the dance and the choreography, but I also love it for the music, the talent, the singing, and the visuals, and the fashion, literally every aspect of it, not the toxic parts, but we can talk about that as well. But yeah, I do love K-pop. You can probably see up on this shelf, that's my K-pop shelf. I only collect ATs, so I make it a strong rule to myself that I do not buy other groups' albums or PCs, because I know once I start, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So only ATs, and same with posters on my wall. It also keeps a theme. So I also would love to talk about fashion, which segues from K-pop as well, because I take some inspiration from K-pop for sure. I wish I could take more, but I don't think I have the budget for that myself. But I do love fashion so much. My dream is to become a fashion designer, one of many dreams. Okay, we can get into that. Because I do want to model professionally. That is my current goal and my current thing that I'm working towards right now. And that then I want to turn into a fashion designer in the future. So, and I would love to model my own things, because I think that's super cool. Obviously, I would want to outsource and get more models, but the dream of dreams right here is to walk on a fashion show that is my own fashion show, my own line, and I'm in it, either opening the show or closing the show, because normally the designer walks out at the end, and I'd want it to be a bigger version of that. So yeah, that's the dream of dreams. And I'm currently building my portfolio, building connections for modeling. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then I can talk about that, of course. I would love to talk about my journey as we go, and hopefully as this podcast goes on and this channel goes on, hopefully my journey will, go on with it, and I can keep you guys updated. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about fashion, because that goes with that, and also goes with K-pop, goes with everything, me in everyday life, so many things. And I also like talking pop culture. I like talking movies and TVs and let's see, actors, singers, all those things. So I've always talked about those. And then anything in between, anything random, hot takes, any guest. I definitely want to have some friends on my guest. And actually, if any of my friends are watching this or anyone sees this and wants to be a guest, reach out. Or maybe I'll reach out to you because we'll definitely get into it. And it would be a lot of fun. Okay, so I would like to talk a little bit about myself just so that you can get to know me and also just like, I don't know, tell some lore. So, I am 19 years old. That's just, simple. My birthday is in June, so summer birthday, and I'm going to be turning 20 this year, which is actually wild to me. I don't even want to think about it. I'm not really ready to be like out of the teens because personally, like I thought for myself that I would accomplish almost like everything that I wanted to when I was 18, and that's weird because like now I'm already 19, and it's not that I'm in a bad place right now. I'm just like not where I wanted to be, which I think is common for a lot of people. But I am in a good situation right now as far as like jobs. I work a couple jobs right now. Like I have a job that I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday every weekend. That's really close to home. And I've worked there for almost 2 years now. It's a restaurant. And then I have a job that I work for my mom, and it's kind of like she's my boss, and she hired me back in September. And so that job is like I maybe work once a week. And then right now during the like holiday season it was super busy. I was there every day. But now it's like not really. And then I also dance occasionally. So I and teach. Like I have a choreography that I'm doing, which is super super exciting. I'm doing this choreography in April, a show in April. So it's going to be like a choreography showcase, and I'm going to be doing a choreography for it. I did the same show last year with a different choreography, but I love choreographing, so it's super fun. My style is kind of a mix of like ballet, contemporary, and some like pop elements. Not really jazz, but it's like I don't know how to describe it, pop elements. I think it's because my music that I choose is normally not like your typical ballet or contemporary music. It's normally like beats. It's like, it's really fun music. So when I hear those musics, I like have to like pop a hip. You know what I mean? Like and I love that it seems unique because not a lot of dancers do that. A lot of dancers tend to do ballet or contemporary works that are more muted, or it's like violins, pianos, like the things that you would expect. And so I love anytime I see a choreography that's really interesting as far as music choices, where it's like, it's not putting me to sleep. It's like, if there's a music where I'm like, hey, like that's what I want. But then I want it to be clean cut ballet, like point work, you know what I mean? So that's what I try to do. I did it last year, and I actually used an AT song. I used Ariba by ATs. It's my favorite AT song. And I did it instrumental. And it was super cool because it's kind of got a Latin flair to it. So I thought like point work, Latin, it was going to be really cool. And it was. And then this year, I can tease a little bit, I think. I'm doing a mashup I actually put together myself. So it's all aespa songs. So aespa's a K-pop group if you do not know. And it's a girl group of 4. So I used instrumental songs, just like a couple of their songs that are my favorite or that I thought would work best. So I put them together, mashed it up myself, and it's really cool. This piece is longer than last year, so it's more work, and I also have more dancers this time, so more to think about, and actually less rehearsal time. Because I was in their ballet company last year, and now I'm not this year because I decided to leave. The ballet scene, like as a company member, was not my thing. Not anything against this company particularly, but it's just like ballet companies in general. All of them have like elements that are the same. And if anybody cares about dance and company lifestyle, like I can talk about that, but it's just like all I can say is like it doesn't feel like it's for me. And I have tried it, done it, it's not the worst thing ever, but like I don't like myself when I was doing it. I felt like I wasn't happy. I felt like I was negative to people, and like I don't want to be like that. And I felt like the responsible thing to do was remove myself from the situation, just because I don't want to be like, I don't want to be like a diva to people in a bad way, I mean. And I also don't want to be rude to people. I don't want to be angry even to myself. And I don't want to be mad at myself for like not doing what I love. So that it's not that I don't love dance, okay? It's that I don't love the system. You know what I mean? Like the art. I like the art. I love the art as dance, right? And and I grew up doing it, so it's like, I love how I said I was like, I can talk about this and I'm going to talk about it. But it's not that I don't. When I grew up doing it, and it was like I hated it every day. And I would always tell my parents, I'm like, I hate dance. Like me and my brothers always said we hate dance, because I have two brothers that dance as well. One of them retired, and one of them's still in this company that I was in last year. And he's actually in my choreography this year. He was last year. He's amazing. He's great. So, I remember we always said like, oh, I hate dance. And it was because we hated the dance that we were at. We hated the studio we were at. The teachers were bullies there. And it was just like, it was a really bad situation to grow up in. And like, I'm not saying that to be a victim. I obviously am privileged in many, many ways. I'm just saying that was not a healthy place to grow up in at all. And, yeah, it built my brain thinking that I hated dance. And then even after that, like, I've been to other studios. I remember for 1 year, I was at another studio. This is back when we lived in South Carolina. So this was another studio, and they were really great. They were like the nicest people. I remember thinking like, dance teachers can be nice. Like, where have you been all my life? Like, it was such a good experience. The people were nice. The students were nice. I made some of my best friends there back then. And this was like I want to say 2018 or so. And yeah, they were super nice, best people I've met, and I still like keep up with some of them. I love them. And then after that, it changed. Like, I guess we went more. Oh, we did do a year of boarding school, which that was art school. I'm actually doing that in the future. I'm gonna make a whole episode dedicated to this arts boarding school. So basically, I danced there, and that one was good. I mean, it's a good way to, I guess, like, test if you'd want to do professional dance. I mean, I think it's a relatively good school. And then, that was fun. I mean, the teachers were nice there, I would say, for the most part. And then, the year after that, that was like COVID year. So I was in the Washington School of Ballet. I guess I'm going to name drop, but I only did 1 year there because I did it through Zoom. And dance on Zoom, guys, it's wild. Dance on Zoom is like, what's the point? Because one, how are we going to build a studio in our homes? And then, like, if you know what a ballet class entails, we're talking like jumping around, we're talking grand jeté, saut de chasse. Like, what do we do? Like, we couldn't do grand allegro, so it was crazy. And then also, that was the time of my life where I grew from like 5'3" to 6'2". Like, I'm not even kidding, within maybe a year or a year and a half. And so, like, I'm 6'2" now. So, and I've been 6'2" since I was 16, I think. Or maybe, I think I was 6 foot when I was like 15. So, excuse me. Anyways, because I graduated super early. That's another thing. I graduated high school because I was homeschooled. I graduated high school super early. I was 15, about to turn 16. And I remember being taller than both of my brothers at graduation. So I think I was like 6 foot at 15. So, Like I was saying, Zoom class is just super bad. That was 1 year, but the people were really nice that year on Zoom. I appreciate the teachers, and like they still taught me a good bit. And then after that, I kind of went a little bit more professional. So it was like a professional training program, still a school. And I did it at this place. I live in Georgia currently. So someplace in Georgia. And then I'm probably going to name drop it at some point on here. So, but I'm not going to yet. So I did 2 years there. Hated it, and it wasn't even really a teacher's fault. I mean, I did not necessarily enjoy all of the teachers I had there, but there were some good ones. And I built some really great friends there. As in, built really great friends. I think I have 3 friends from there, 4 if we're including my brother, who was there at the same time. So, but I built like, it was like a nice relationship to see them every day, but I still hated going there every day. Like, in my head, I always said like, oh, I hate it so much. Like, I can't wait to stop. So then, after those 2 years, I was not going to be promoted there, or actually, they talked about promoting me after I left. So, but not while I was there. So we don't know to this day what the situation was, but I didn't want to be promoted because I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't even care about like money. So then I did get hired at this company I was in last past year, and great company, super sweet people, love it. So it was good. I feel like it was a good note to end on for now, professionally dancing. It was a good note to end on because I did not hate it. I didn't feel like I hated it. There were at times where I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like it's just like so tedious doing this every day. But, and again, like I said, I don't like that, to be that negative person. I don't want to be that person. But I will say the people were super great. The teachers were sweet. And like I've built good connections there to now where I left. They don't feel mad at me. They don't feel like upset that I left. I mean, they do say that they miss me. Like they wanted me to come back, of course, but it's not a bad relationship because they've had me come back and teach. They have like regularly, not like regularly on a schedule, but they have me come teach right now. It's like, I've been going every week to teach their company, which I really enjoy. I like teaching, and that's what I've learned from dance, that I like teaching dance, and I love choreographing. Choreographing is so fun for me. It's challenging, and I normally don't like challenging things, but it makes me feel like, I don't know, like it's rewarding work. It is rewarding work when you see your choreography performed on stage and get to teach professionals, which that is one thing. Like, I don't love teaching super young kids. I will do it, but I don't love it. I like teaching like some people don't like teaching teenagers. I enjoy teenagers, and also to like, because they seem to not like be so broody with me, or like they tend to soften up. So I'm okay with teenagers, and then also adults, like professionals. I like company dancers, professionals. So that's I do teach. That was all my long way of saying that that's one of my jobs, is that I teach every once in a while. I also, there's a lot of subbing opportunities because I don't have I'm not like a resident studio teacher, but you can kind of bounce around like local studios wherever you are if you have teaching experience, and the pay is really, really good. So even just for like a couple hours or something, like you can make a couple hundred. So not really a couple hundred, just like I'm just saying, like you can make over 100 in a day just by doing few ballet classes. And it's something that I didn't go to school for. It's something that I just have experience in. And same for choreographing. I think if people hear that you have been a company dancer at this place and this place, and I think that it's more experience based. So that I do like, because college doesn't seem like it's for me, at least right now in my life. I'm not saying that I'll never do it, or doing like a trade school, but right now, and like in the past, I haven't seen college for myself necessarily. So I don't know. I guess because like my dreams being like many dreams, what I want to do is I still want to choreograph, I still want to teach as far as dance goes. Even if it's just in little bits. I would rather choreograph than teach out of the two. But then I would also like to model. I would like to design fashion eventually. I would like to have my own brand eventually. And I feel like I will do all these things. I also like to content creation. I didn't even say that, but like I love TikTok, I love YouTube, and I think that that's something that goes, yes, that can be your full-time job, but it can also be a job that is based on everything else that you do in your life. So if it's like a podcast, I can sit down every week and talk about everything I did, or like tell your story on YouTube or TikTok, however you want to do it. And you can monetize, it can be a side hustle, it can be your full-time job. So that's something I want to do, not even just for the money. I think I've just always wanted to do content creation in some form. And I've wanted to be on YouTube for a long time, but I just, once I got on TikTok, then it was like harder to think about how to do long form content. And honestly, it's really impressive that people do long form content. And it's impressive that people can still make it work while TikTok is so big, because TikTok seems to be like, when you think about people scrolling and they watch a makeup tutorial, for instance, it's like all compiled into like they're showing the product and it's basically already on their face within a second. And then you go to YouTube and you watch a makeup tutorial and it's going to be like, we're talking about each product. We're talking while we're putting it on. And to grasp people's attention and keep it is really impressive. So, and for this, I would like to do videos like that where it's like not an actual an actual YouTube video, but not just a podcast where I'm like sitting talking. But for now, I think I'm just going to do this. I would like to do vlogs eventually. And like I said, the more my life gets adventurous, this channel will know about it, and like my socials will know about it. So, which if you haven't checked out my socials, it is on Instagram. I actually have two Instagram accounts. So one is at Leckiju, and then the second one is at Leckiju.Kpop. So basically why I have two, one is like my official, that was my first account. That's I post regular photos on there, model photos. So that's like my model account and personal account. And then my other one, I just designed to post about K-pop because sometimes I just want to fangirl, okay? Sometimes I just want to fanboy. And so I repost my TikToks as reels on there, and I also repost them to shorts on here, some of them. And yeah, because I just started reposting to see like how they would do on Instagram. Some of them do a lot better than they do on TikTok, and some of them do worse. So it's really random, I would say. But that account has been growing a little bit more now, all because of this like video of Son jumping on stage. It was that trend where it was like my $500 jumping on stage or dancing on stage, and it would show like a concert video, and it was one of those of Son, and people really love it. So yay. It's a great video. It's from Son doing Bouncy. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So those are my two Instagram accounts, and then on TikTok it's at Leckiju212, and which if you haven't known what the reference is and you follow me, the reference is the song 212 by Azalea Banks. Because I've loved that song for a little too long. And I will have all of my links in the link tree. So if you're finding this podcast, then go follow, please. And if you are coming from those links, then I appreciate that you already follow, but please subscribe here. I did want to say, if you don't do video podcasts, this podcast is also going to be available in other places. Where that is, all of those places are exactly, I'm not sure, but I am going to figure it out, okay? So I'm going to get on Spotify, of course going to do YouTube because I like YouTube podcast. like video podcast. But yeah, my favorite podcast, this is something I could talk about, is The Balls and the Beautiful with Trixie and Katya. Love Trixie and Katya, which I would also love to talk about drag on here. I guess I don't know how my audience would convert with hearing about drag, but I am like a big RuPaul's Drag Race fan and a big Trixie and Katya fan, so I love The Bald and the Beautiful. It's one of my favorites. And then probably next to that or in line with that is Asian Glow podcast. It's really entertaining. I do really recommend it for K-pop stans. It's a great K-pop podcast. So the owner of the podcast is Clarence Angelo, and he's a Filipino creator and K-pop lover. And then his cousin Alcheska, I think she was like on one of his episodes and like people loved her so much, and then she came back and like people just really loved their bond and like their chemistry. So then like it just took off and like they always filmed them together, and now she has her own YouTube channel and like her own following. It's super cool because when I started watching like their first, I think when they had like 2 episodes out with her. So it was brand new, and like it's so cool to see how big their podcast has gotten now. So congratulations to you guys, Asian Glow. I love them, and I do recommend them a lot if you want a K-pop podcast. The one thing, and I love their podcast, okay? But one thing that I wish that they would talk about more is ATEEZ, because and it's like, it's totally fine. They talk about K-pop, but I guess their favorite groups I like, but are not my favorite groups. And so it's like, I still love watching them, and I love watching them talk about them. Because they do talk a lot about BTS, which I know has a huge fandom. And I like personally never got into BTS. I think I was a little bit after their time, but I would like to talk about ATEEZ, of course. And I think a lot of my followers from TikTok are ATEEZ. So if you want an ATEEZ podcast, this is the place to be, because I will do episodes dedicated completely to them. I just know I will. But before getting in this chair, setting up this cute little chair, this is where all the plush go in my room. So I had to remove all the plush, which I normally like sit here if I do TikTok live or something. So I remove all the plush, and what is in here is my Sandoki plush. Actually, hold up. You want to see something funny? What is behind this chair, and has been behind this chair for months now, is Uyung's plush box for his doll. So I have his plush, and I have San's plush, and then I also have like a Shibber that sits in here. I have 2 Winklemon that sit in here. One of them was crocheted by my sister, or my sister-in-law. So yeah, a little bit family backstory, like I've said, was that my 2 brothers did dance. One of them still does, the other one doesn't, and he moved back to South Carolina. A lovely place. And then which I'm hoping to go to South Carolina this summer. That's exciting. I love the beach there, and I grew up in Myrtle Beach, so it's like a really low-key, not too touristy place to go. I really love it. That being said, don't make it touristy. Don't everyone go there, okay? And then my other brother lives same house as me, but he has his own apartment in the basement. So but I'm definitely gonna have him as a guest, because I would love to do an episode with both my brothers. However, that might be hard to schedule, but definitely with my brother that lives here, he's a great time. You guys will love him. He also is very into K-pop. He prefers the girl groups, and his favorite girl group is Tiara. It's a little bit older. They're not currently putting out new music, but I think they debuted either 2007 or 2011. I can't remember right now, but yeah, they've been around for a hot minute. And so that's his alt group. My alt group is ATs, of course, but we both really get into K-pop. We can both talk about dance, that's for sure. And then he also has so many other interests. He loves Hello Kitty, he loves Mortal Kombat, he loves Halo, he loves like Batman DC Universe, and it's just crazy. If you saw his apartment, it's like the walls, each section of the wall has like its own theme. So it's like this is the Mortal Kombat section. So it has like figurines, pops, movies, like DVDs. It has like fake weapons. Like it's crazy. But it is called all kind of separated. I can see him being one of those people in the future. If he has a house, he has each room be its own like theme, which I really enjoy that. Like I remember Todrick Hall did a house tour a couple years ago, and he has like every room a different theme, and it's so cool. Like to have the money to make it like done well would be so fierce. I remember he had like a Wizard of Oz room, super cool. He also had like a movie theater room. It was super cool. But yeah, my brother is giving that vibe. For me, my room is very disconnected in themes. So originally, since I lived in Myrtle Beach and a lot of this stuff is the same in my room, it was like a beach theme. So I had shells, I have like sea turtle stuff, I have like a mermaid thing on my wall, and like blue was the theme. And then now I have some of that same stuff, but like not all of it. Also, I don't live at the beach anymore. So it's very random. But now it's kind of giving K-pop because I have the most K-pop stuff up. Like I have, what do you call those? Like fake PCs on like a clip strip type thing that's hanging. Then I've got K-pop here. I have 5 posters 6 posters you can't see. And then that's basically it. That's all the decor there is AT stuff. And then I guess there's like a little Bowser section in my room because I'm a big Bowser stan. And then a little RuPaul's Drag Race little people figurine. Like it's a random theme. It definitely is disconnected, but at least it feels like me at this point. Excuse me. Do you like my mic? The headphones I know look a little large, but this mic is brand new, so I can actually do ASMR pretty well. I have tried it a couple times with the headphones, and I really do. Like, I don't get into ASMR in a way that like it's enjoyable content to me, but I get into it like it's cool and I can respect it. Like, I don't get into the eating, okay? But like, I could totally do a whole podcast episode where it's like this, where I'm whispering and it's giving ASMR. Like, it is fun. I will say it is fun. But, yeah, if you get into that, then tell me. I could do a whole ASMR video. I think a whole ASMR podcast video would be hard, but I would enjoy it. So, anyways, I'm probably going to wrap up here. I didn't even know how long I wanted to do episodes, so they might vary, but I was going to say maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes-ish. So we're going to see how long this one ends up being. So I'm going to wrap things up here. If you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, please like this before you leave and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to never miss an upload from me, turn on the post notifications so that you can always be the first to watch and the first to like, okay? And then if you would like to check out my other socials, they're going to be in the link tree on this bio, so you can go check out all my socials, see what I'm posting, see what I'm about, and see if you want to follow my journey. So with all that said, thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, bye-bye. Love you.